Welcome to the K. Willis Positive Vibes Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the K. Willis Positive Vibes Podcast. K. Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show on 1580thepraise.com, a Gold Chip communication station. And I have the fabulous, the amazing, what else can I say? Earth. Earth is a publicist. She's a writer. She also dance. What don't you do, girl?
Girl.
So I want Earth to tell you guys more and get into more details of everything that she does, because you're going to love her.
Absolutely. Thank you, first of all, so much for having me. I am so excited to be here. You know how I love you.
I love you too.
So, yay.
Yes.
Well, about myself, I have 2 daughters, 2 grandchildren, and I've been a publicist for a little over 20 years in the PR industry. I am a professional West African dancer as well as teacher and student. Okay, that was a student first, okay? And I am an author, as you mentioned, and a writer. And it's a lot of stuff. I'm just Earth, and I'm just happy to be here, to be alive at a time such as this. This is a great time and an opportunity for us to secure our dreams, to chase them and wrestle them down into submission. And so that is what I'm trying to do. Okay, so I try to do a little bit of everything, a master of none.
Come on now. Yeah, so that was a good intro to Earth. So, Earth, what was it like working for Urban Flavor magazine?
Oh, yes, Urban Flavor magazine I was young. I was bold, I was aggressive, and I got to meet people like Rakim. The first time I met Rakim, we were in Cleveland on the road, and that was the first time I ever got starstruck. You heard me? I don't think I've ever been since. And he was very personable, and when he sees me now and I call out, Rakim, Mother Earth would like to have a word with you, he turns right around, and he knows exactly who I am. And, that was great. I got to work with some wonderful young people doing Urban Flavor magazine. Time. We built that magazine from the ground up. We started it ourselves. It was 5 of us, and we really went hard. One of the covers was Eric Benet, so that tells you how big we actually were able to get. We had another cover with Grammy Award winner Erykah Badu. That's when I met Erykah, and we, hit it off. I was able to travel with her on her Mama's Gun tour behind Urban Flavor magazine. So it has been a rich experience for me, learning how to just get the advertising, learning how to put the magazine together, and what all actually goes into creating a magazine, especially a hip-hop magazine such as Urban Flavor. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you said it was 5 of you guys?
It was about 5 of us. Yeah.
And you guys started from the ground?
From the ground up. And it was actually the brainchild of a good photographer friend of mine, Anthony Alden. Mm-hmm. And so he came to us with it. He pulled us together, and we had a shop over on Franklin Avenue, a building over in Franklin that we worked out of. And it was amazing. It was really an amazing time. It really was. Urban Flavor magazine. Yeah. If I was to ever do anything like that in the future, I wanted to breathe new life into that, but I would have to go back and see what he thinks about it.
Ooh. Yeah. Let's see right here on the K. Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show. We're gonna see what he's gonna breathe into. So you guys had Eric Benet on the cover.
Yeah, he was one of our first covers. That's when he was married to Holly Berry.
Yes.
And he was wonderful. He was a wonderful interview. I have yet to run into any entertainers who have given me negative vibes. And that's a good thing, because I hear a lot of different stories about, certain entertainers, but I've never had that problem. I think because you have to start with positivity first. You know what I'm saying? So, Eric Benet was lovely. He was lovely. And like I said, Erykah, I made contact with her through her then road manager, Big Mike. And we were doing Street Lit I was doing street lit on the side from Triple Crown Publications.
Okay.
And so that was what I was offering up. I was offering up street lit books. But those were big at that time, and people were literally eating them up. And so I said, hey, Big Mike, I contacted him. Can you potentially get these books to Erica? He did that. Met up with my friend in New York, who is actually Queen Afua's son. Wow. And hooked up with him, and he said, hey, I can get, because him and Erica are great friends. And got to tour with her through Triple Crown Publications, feeding her all these books. And I'm telling you, Erica is a beautiful person inside and out. I don't care. Can't nobody make me hate her, okay? All the way from her music and what she's putting out, the positive messages that she has through her music, her positive interactions that I had with her band, and everybody that was surrounding her. She really did treat me like family. I started out, we met in, I can't remember. I met her, I think, in Philly.
Okay.
And at that time, she was dating Common. And Common came, I got to meet Common. And she says, well, I was going to let you meet up with me when we got back into the States, because she was on her way to Canada. And Common said, she came all the way down, just let her go. So she was like, oh, come on. All right, fine. I went and got on the band's bus. So about an hour later, Erica comes and she was like, hey, come get your stuff and come on my bus. So I was actually able to ride on the bus with Erica.
Wow.
And at first I was just in a little pod. If you ever been on a tour bus, they have these like pods where you lay and you have your own personal television. And she came out of her suite and she said, come on, and so I slept on her sofa while she slept in her bed. But at the time she was listening to this jazz music, girl, something funky I had never heard before. And she was like, you ever heard these artists? I was like, no. She was like, yeah, this is how I get my inspiration. These are my muse for my music. And it was a beautiful time. It really was. She's a great woman. I love her, and I just wish her nothing but the best. She showed me mad love.
Yes.
So.
Shout out to Erica Badu.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
She has a good energy when you see her, and she's hilarious.
It's funny.
If you listen to her, sometimes she's on the Ricky Smiley show, and they crack me up, and I'm like, oh, she is actually hilarious.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I was even able to keep care of her oldest child, 7. When he was just a tiny tot, was able to bring him out on stage and and things like that when her personal assistant was busy with other duties. So it was, I've done some things. I've lived I would like to say a pretty, somebody asked me today, do you feel like you've lived an ordinary life or an extraordinary life? And I must say, through God, I have lived an extraordinary life.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I always tell people, if I died today, I have fulfilled more than half of the bucket list. So
yes. Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
Good
Yes.
to give him acknowledgement. As long
Absolutely.
as you keep on acknowledging him, it can't do nothing but get greater.
Listen, I can't go nowhere
Come
without
on now.
him. You heard
Come on
me?
now.
I can't do no great works without my God. I cannot do it. I'm telling you. In 2016, I almost left here. I almost died. I had a major surgery, and when I came back, I had the entire team that worked on me. It was about 10 young folks looking at me, and all I could see was smiling teeth. And they was like, welcome back. And I looked up and I said, am I in heaven? What happened here? What happened here? But you know what? They said, baby, you are phenomenal in this hospital. I was at OSU, and they was like, you died and came back. I said, thank you, God, because I didn't. He felt that I had more in me to do, and I felt as if I had more in me to do. And ever since then, I have been taking every single day to give my praise and thanks to be right here. So it is amazing time for me to be alive. Absolutely.
Yes, well, he said your ladder will be greater. So what can you say to somebody out there, because it's someone out there that's down and out. Absolutely. They feel like it can't get better. Something done happen.
You know what helped me, honestly?
What helped you?
Being grateful, even for the little things.
Yes.
You might not have all that you want, but if you are thankful for what you do have, you can make it. He will grant you more. I promise you that. And give praises. Wake up in the AM. It doesn't take you for the 5 seconds to say thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Don't ask for nothing. You don't have to ask for nothing, because he knows what you need. All you got to do is say thank you and live your life positive.
Yes.
Don't be out here misusing folks, abusing folks and whatnot. Don't do things like that, because you know what's right. You know what's right to do. And as hard as it might be for you, do what's right. I promise you, your life will change.
So you guys heard it here. Do what's right. You know, do unto others as you want done unto yourself.
Oh, so simple.
Yes, that's how I live.
Absolutely.
And you heard it right here, gratitude. So you get up in the morning, you say, thank you, Father, for another day. It may not, hey, the bills might be due. You may not have no money. You may not have nothing to eat, but thank you, Father.
But you know what I found too? When things are tough like that and people say, you know, if you get up and you say, oh, I would really like a nice meal today, I promise you, you will get that nice meal. You will get something to eat. Yes. I don't care if there's angels walking on this earth that will provide for you. God has no feet or hands but yours. So use them. When you hear that little voice that says, hey, get that man a bottle of water. Go on and get that man that last $5 you got. Don't hesitate. Don't even think about it. You heard the voice. Give it up and you will be, I'm telling you, you will be replenished. I've had it happen time and time again. If you have that mustard seed of faith, I'm telling you, you can go a long way with it.
Come on, mustard seed of faith.
I'm telling you.
So you said when God tell you, but earth, I'm thirsty. You mean tell me I need to get my water up?
You bet. Hey,
come on, listen to.
You better listen to what that voice done told you to do. You felt it, you heard it, you know what's right, because you know that you can go somewhere else, and you know that you can get you some water later on. You just hold that thirst; it'll be all right. Suffer a little bit, ain't nothing. Sacrifice your thirst, and give that homeless person what they need.
Yes, that part. And then you'll get a gallon of water.
Absolutely.
You done gave up a bottle. Now you got
a gallon or two.
Okay.
I love it.
You out here ministering.
I love it.
This is so good. So we talked about Urban Flavor Magazine. How was it being on the road and working with A-list celebrities?
Woo, it was exciting. I was young. This was my first time as a journalist for a magazine, being on the road, away from my children, away from, my family, and just meeting different people like Rakim. I was starstruck when I met Rakim. You heard me? I ain't been starstruck since, but he got me. He walked in, and I'm standing there looking, and my team is like, say something. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Rakim. Because, we partied in the basement to Rakim's music. Right. Okay, this was before all the, but, we partied in the basement to Rakim's music at the house parties. And, you read about Rakim in magazines. And then, I was gifted with his book years later. And it really let me know how deep somebody goes for their talent, how he was able to do his music. I mean, he's another phenomenon. Yes. And right now, if I saw him somewhere in concert and I would say, hey, Rakim, Mother Earth would like to have a word with you, he would turn around and he'd have a smile on his face. He knew exactly who I was. And I met him a few times, actually. Wow. And so being on the road and meeting these celebrities, you come to find out and you realize they're people just like you. Yeah. And they have problems just like us. They got a little bit more money. Mike can throw a little bit more money at the bills, but I'm telling you, the depression, the anxiety, the heartache, it's all there. They found their niche, and all we have to do, if you're trying to get there to be a celebrity, I don't call them stars, I call them celebrities. You can also do the same thing. Find your niche. Music Soul Child, he told me the story about how he slept on couches at his friends' houses, trying to make it in the music industry. So you never know what the background and the history of someone is. Never treat someone less than, because you never know what their spiritual ranking is or what they may be able to do for you. You never know. You never know. Treat people with kindness and respect always.
Always. You could be entertaining an angel. Ain't that what the word
You
say?
can be entertaining an earth angel and never even know.
Never even know.
Never even know. But and just being able to see how they live, seeing how people treat them, it was interesting. It's very interesting to see that, and to see them actually working on their craft, because they work on their craft on the road, off the road, on folks' couches, in their out of their cars. Tyler Perry out of the car. Yes. You know, when you show up for yourself, that's another thing.
Now.
Show up for yourself. If you feeling bad, don't matter. Get out of the bed. Force yourself on up. Get dressed. Look good. And when you look good, you feel good. And you go out there and you face these things head on. Go out there and meet you some people. Get connected, because this life is all about making these connections. It used to be about, what you know, but not anymore. People want to meet and converse and be in the company of genuine, authentic people. And that's what it's all about. That's how you connect with folks. Be your authentic self. People will love you for that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You said find your niche. So there's someone out there that, they want to be this celebrity, the next. Everybody want to be a next. They on social media.
Absolutely.
They post it and everything. What do you say to that person that is struggling because they're not at the Grammys right now?
Right.
Come on now. Everybody want to be.
Absolutely. I would tell them to continue to work on your craft. Be the best that you can be. Find what it is that you can set yourself aside and make yourself different from everyone else, because we got, all the people with the BBLs, they all look the same.
Come on now.
You all look the same, but if you dress a little different, guess what? That's your authentic self. Do you. You will attract the right people. You will attract the right opportunities, but work on your craft every day. Be diligent about that. Get out there and network. Meet you some folks. I found if you talk to people, you never know what people do. People just don't come out wearing labels saying across their forehead, hey, I'm an editor. Hey, I know how to, write books. Hey, I know how to, they don't do that. So, and when you sharing with people in your authentic self, they will authentically share right back with you. And I'm telling you, if it's all in who you can get where you're going. Work on your craft every single day. Show up for yourself. Be your authentic self, and I promise you will get where you're going.
Yes. Work on your craft every day. Y'all heard it. Show up for yourself.
Yes.
And absolutely, you will get where you're going. Thank you. So, take us back to the time you were on the road and when your best friend, Koya, called you on the road.
Woo-wee. Okay, that seems that one doesn't seem like yesterday. Thank God for that, right? And thank God that we don't always look like what we've been through. Okay, people have a notion or an idea or perception of what homeless people look like. They living on the streets, they're dirty, they're under the bridge, da-da-da-da. That's not always the case. I was on the road traveling. I was all the way in Canada with Erykah Badu. And I got a call. I slipped my phone from under the pillow and I take a peek, and it's Koya, my best friend at the time. And she was keeping care of my daughters, one was in elementary and one was just a toddler. And she says, hey, sis, you make it to Canada safely? Da-da-da. I said, yeah, we're traveling, da-da-da. And she says, well, I just wanted to call you to let you know that I stopped by to pick up some items for the girls, and G, we'll just call him G, was putting your stuff in storage because he says that he didn't want you at the house anymore. So at the time, I couldn't really scream or really go all into detail because Erica's in the bed sleep next to me. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to take a deep breath, and I said, what? Even though I heard what she said. And she said, yeah, he's putting your stuff. I said, I heard you. I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. Okay. So she could hear the tears, and she says, well, don't cry. She was like, I'm going to take the girls over to Aunt Tara's house, and we'll have to deal with this when you get back. I said, okay. So I hung up with her, and I put my face under that pillow, and I silently cried. And I cried because I couldn't believe what I had heard, And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I'm on the road. I'm out here traveling. I'm meeting different people, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, Zap Mama, and things of the, but I don't have a home to return to once, this is over. What am I going to do? Girl, I'm on the road. What am I going to do? So that was devastating. I'm young. I'm a new journalist. I'm starting out. I got a good future ahead of me, but in this moment, what am I to learn? Why is this happening to me? And through time, over time, the question was answered that, you do for self, and never place your livelihood and your life in the hands of another. If it's not me and God, it's just me. I can't depend on mortal man for my safety, for my care, for my shelter. I have to do what I have to do. And that's what I had to learn at that time. Don't ever let anybody have control of your living situation. Baby, that was, whew, girl.
So that was a aha moment.
Don't
ever, and that's a key point. Let's touch base on that. So if it's not God, you don't want nobody to feel like they are controlling you.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's somebody else is in control of your life. No. Because let me tell you something. That was the first blow. I think the major blow happened when I got to my storage unit.
Oh, wow.
I got back in town from Canada. I came back to the States, and Koya was there waiting for me at the airport. She picked me up. I threw my little bag in the back seat with my laptop. You had been writing on the road and all that. And I got in the car. I said, girl, what am I going to do? And she said, well, don't worry. Aunt Tara said that you and the girls are welcome to stay there until you get on your feet. She said, how long you think you'll need? I had a little money saved up, and I said, but I wanted to make sure I was comfortable when I left, that I was going to be able to, get my daughters, pay for last month's, rent situation, security deposit. I was going to be able to buy food, and whatever else. Turn on the utilities, the things that you have to do when you're moving and stuff. And so I said, I need about, 3-4 months. Is that cool? She said, Aunt Tara said, take your time. Awesome. Not a problem. She was such a godsend. When you talk about earth angels, those two right there came through. And then she could have told me that Aunt Tara said, well, she don't know what you're going to do when you get back. You better go find a homeless shelter or something like that. And I thank God every day that I didn't have to take my daughters and go to a homeless shelter. And let me tell you, so homeless doesn't necessarily mean you living on the streets. Right. It means that you don't have a lease with your name on it with keys in your possession to turn the lock and go into your place of residence. Okay, that's what homeless means. It means that you might be couch surfing, all right, at your friend's place. You might have had to go back to your parents' house for a while. You know what I'm saying? So people have to get out of the notion that everybody who is homeless is dirty, don't want to work, broke down. There's a lot of homeless people that people don't believe that have jobs 9 to 5 that have to sleep in their car when they get off. You understand me? So we have to let that go, and thinking about that's what homeless people are. That's not necessarily what homeless people are.
Right. So it's stereotypical. So a lot of people think, oh, a homeless person is the one panhandling, and sometimes, to be honest, some of those people, they might have a Benz.
Girl,
beep, beep.
You never know. You never know. Because I know that there was a story about one person who was like that, but they had $1 million, but they was on the streets. Mental health plays a part in, the homeless situation too, as well. With the way that the rent is going these days and mortgages and how much it costs to buy a home, I'm worried about the future of us as citizens in this country, because, if you have to make 3 times the amount of the rent and jobs are not paying you 3 times the amount of the rent, and your rent is $2,000 and you're bringing home, say you're bringing home $3,500, that $2,000, you got $1,500 left. If you got a car note, a car insurance, health insurance, cell phone, utilities, that electric, gas, and water. If you have any children, plus don't mention your food, you don't have any money left.
Right.
So now people are deciding whether they want to, pay their rent or do they eat this week. Right. This is getting really, really serious, and we have to start looking at that and hopefully taking precautions. I'm a strong believer now. Yes. In communal living, generational living, whether it's your mom and your children or and a couple of cousins to get, so everybody's not paying $2,000 a month in rent, making somebody else wealthy. You see what I'm saying? Get a big enough place where we can go back to where we come from. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, homelessness is not that stereotypical thing that it used to be. Absolutely.
Right. And I agree. Everything is going up, like inflation and like
gas.
Yeah, the rent. I mean, how do you pay?
I mean, food even.
Food.
You know, if you can't even, people can barely afford to have a nutritional meal, not just, a burger and fries. I'm
Right.
talking about something that's really going to sustain you, that has your vitamins, calcium, and minerals in it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
For a healthy meal. It's hard out here because everything that's healthy is higher.
It sure is.
Twice as high.
Twice as high.
And you're like, why? Why would you make me pay to be healthy? But you know why, right? Because if you're healthy, then
You
the
ain't
health
going
system.
you ain't sick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're not sick. No medicine.
So that's what that situation gave me more empathy, I think, to the homeless population, and which leads me to the book.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
Yes. So the Unsheltered, None of Us Are Home Until All of Us Are Home by Peggy Williams.
Absolutely.
Can we go into a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I got a call one day from another one of my coworkers, a writer, and she has several books as well. And she says, "Hey, there's an anthology coming up about homelessness. Would you be interested in sharing your story?" And I hopped on it because I want the stereotypes to be dispelled.
Yes.
Absolutely, I would share this story. And I wanted to share my stories anyway. I wanted to start sharing my stories, and I didn't know if I wanted to do a TEDx, if I wanted to just write it all in a book, or what I wanted to do. So when she called me with it, I jumped on it. I thought that was the prime opportunity. One, to start to share my first story, to share that, and two, because it was a book that was all the proceeds go back to help the homeless all over the world. So there's no profit for the authors who wrote wrote the book. So I wanted to. That was my way of giving back. My way of helping the homeless population. And I mean, come on, it was a short story, and it was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. And so I wrote it, and I feel extremely good about it. It's called Unsheltered, and you can definitely pick it up on Amazon or anywhere good books are sold. And remember that your contribution doesn't go to me. I will get never, ever, none of us, including Peggy, will ever get any residuals from it. Any royalties will not be given to us. All of the proceeds go back to help the homeless all over the world. So if you can, I would love it if you could pick up a copy of Unsheltered. None of us are home until all of us are home. So
I love that. I actually purchased the book.
Yay.
It is delayed, unfortunately. I'm not sure what is going on.
Well, hopefully it's delayed because they're getting so many requests that they can't print them fast enough.
Hopefully that is it. Yes, Amazon sent me a message. I said, y'all playing too much. But yeah, I'm going to get it. And once again, 100% of the proceeds goes to the homeless.
Absolutely.
Once again, it's a recap for you guys, okay? Just because you see somebody on the street, stereotypical, that's not a homeless person. It might be your friend that ain't even telling you. They might be living on somebody's couch.
Sleeping in their car.
Sleeping in their car.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So we're going to stop the stereotypes, and we just going to bless others.
Absolutely.
So once again, the name of the book?
The book is called Unsheltered. None of us are home until all of us are home.
Yes.
You can find it anywhere great books are sold.
Thank you. All right. Well, how can we get more of you? I mean, I'm gonna have Earth on, honey. She's gonna be on next week. So I know you guys love all these gems she is giving. So next week, I want you guys to tune in to Kay Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show, because Earth is going to be back on. But how can we reach you?
Absolutely. Any speaking or booking engagements, you can reach me at 614-284-7933, 614-284-7933. I'm Earth Ojalo across all social mediums, okay? I have a one-woman show coming, Kay.
Come on, One Woman Show.
It's coming March for Women's History Month. It's going to be 5 different personalities told in 5 different voices, and it's going to tell more of my story. So look for that. I will definitely keep you abreast and have me back so that we can tell your audience all about it.
Okay, so you guys heard that. She will be back on the show. You want to come back in March or April?
Listen.
April is over.
Yeah. February. I'll be right
honey,
here.
Yes, we not CPT.
That's
We're
right.
going to do February. Get on in March. Yes. So thank you so much. It is such a pleasure. I am so honored that you're going to be back on next week.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you. You have been just an angel since I met you.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show right here on 1580thepraise.com, a Gold Chip communication station. Like, share, and subscribe to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes Podcast. And check out my book, The Principles of Overcoming Life's Obstacles, a 31-day journey to positive living, available on Amazon.com. Just type in a search, Kay Willis, and the book will come up. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes Podcast.